Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today's video I want to talk about some books that I think are not unpopular, just unheard of, I guess. Just books that nobody, or at least I've seen. I haven't seen any videos or TikToks or YouTube videos or anything about these books. I found these books through just roaming through Barnes & Noble, maybe a Target here and there, and I picked them up and I put them on my TBR. So I haven't read these. I've read one of them out of this mix, but I've purchased them, which means they're interesting enough for me to want to read them in the future. So I have a stack here and I want to get into them. They're interesting and I feel like I want to read them possibly soon. These are always books that I gravitate towards, and then I end up picking a different book instead of these. So maybe me talking about them, I will be more inclined to pick it up and read it. But I just want to share them. If you guys have heard of some of these books, maybe they're really good, let me know in the comments down below. Personally, I haven't seen anyone talk about it on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I just kind of want to give you guys some recommendations from books from my TBR that I plan on reading, and I feel like you guys might enjoy them too. So let's get into it. Here's the stack, guys. Should we start with the book that I actually have read? I read it, I think, a year or two. No, I think I read it 2 years ago. And the book is called The Love Interest. It's like this YA spy book, basically about these two boys who have grown up in this government institution that their whole purpose is to infiltrate governments or important people in the nation or in the world. And they can like gather information and like take it back to the government, and the government can do whatever the hell they want to do with it, sway the people. It's kind of just like master manipulation. But anyway, we have these two spies that are going after this one girl who is like super smart. She's only in high school, but she's like a prodigy and she like makes inventions and stuff like that. And so this spy organization knows she's going to be super important in the future. So they're like, one of you has to date her so that you can give us intel on her and we can like, I don't know, steal her inventions and stuff like that, sway her, manipulate her basically. Two spies, one girl, whoever gets her to fall in love with him lives. Yeah, the other guy has to die. If you fail the mission, that boy dies. The one that lives gets to spend the rest of his life with her, and the other one just, I thought it was very fun. It is very YA, but the premise of it was so cool to me. The ending, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I just feel like it was a little bit rushed, and I don't want to spoil something, but like, maybe it's a plot twist, maybe it's not. When I was reading it, I was kind of hoping this would happen, and it wasn't like a plot twist for me because I was like, wait, I need this to happen. But all I'm gonna say is that, and I was rooting for it the entire time, and it was very cute. But anyway, so one boy is like the quote-unquote bad boy, rides a motorcycle, and that's one way to like win over this girl's heart. And then the other boy is like this goody two-shoes boy next door type of thing. And yeah, it's basically like who's gonna win, the like trope of the bad boy and the trope of the golden retriever boy. So which guy is gonna win over her heart? You'll have to read and figure it out. But I just thought the cover was super cool. When I read the back of the book, I was like, the premise just sounds so good. What I also thought was really cool about this is that you get to see both of the boys like go into the mission. So they both have like a cover-up story, like they live with like a fake family who like also works the organization. Kind of think of it as like Black Widow the movie. You know, they have like the fake family, but it's like a ruse for what they're actually doing. It's like a cover story. So that's what's happening. Both of them have like these like fake families that they're living with, a whole backstory and like how they know her, and they're gonna meet her in high school. Like they have their meet cute and everything planned. They have like someone talking to them from the institution like in their ear, trying to like figure out the correct way, the strategy to go about making her fall in love with him. My dad's watching football, sorry. Now that I'm talking about it again, this book actually was really fun, and the premise was just so good. It was obviously very YA, but it was still very cute, so that's The Love Interest. This was the only book I'd actually read out of the mix, so the rest of these are all gonna be books that I've just bought and they're on my TBR, and I've only read the back of them, so I don't really know anything else about them or the plot or anything. I can't say if the writing is good or whatever, just like the back of it got me, the cover of it got me. So I got this book like forever ago. It's called Right on Cue by Fallon Ballard, and I haven't read any books by this author, but I just thought it would be really cute, and it looks like a little fun cutesy romance, contemporary romance, and I bought it because I'm a film girly. I got my BA in film and TV production, so I was like, wait, maybe this book will hit the spot, maybe it'll be so perfect. This book is about an actress who has kind of stopped acting because her last movie was a big flop. So now I think she wrote this new project or something, like she's producing it. But the thing is that they cannot find the leading lady that they're looking for, so she's gonna have to step into the role. And so she needs to find her co-star who's gonna be the male lead, and it's this guy who's like the most perfect Hollywood actor, action star, whatever. But the thing is that she doesn't like him, nor does she trust him, because they were beefing on the last movie they were on. So you see where this is going, right? So they're gonna have to fix up their relationship, patch it up, off camera but also on camera because I think it's like a romance movie, and actually I don't really know what it's about. I don't know what the actual movie that they're making is. I just know he's like an action star, whatever. He's, yeah, anyone's dream of a romantic lead. But too bad Emmy still blames him for her disastrous first movie and the early end to her acting career. So they're gonna have to get it together. I just thought this would be a cute, fun little fast contemporary romance read. It looks cute, right? And it's film related. I was like, okay, this is perfect. But I still haven't read it yet. So I'm gonna read it one day. The next book I have is The Night Parade, and my friend at the time recommended me this book like 3 years ago, and this is when I think we were in our like Last of Us phase. I read the first like 2 chapters already and then I put it down because I was gonna read something else, but it's literally just like The Last of Us, and I was gonna read it after this season ended because I was like, okay, I need something to fill this hole in my heart. So I was gonna pick this up, but I don't know why I just didn't read it. But anyway, the main character's name is literally Ellie, just like in the show The Last of Us. I was like, okay, what's going on? First the birds disappeared, then the insects took over, and the madness began. They call it Wanderer's Folly, a disease of delusions, of daydreams, and nightmares, a plague threatened to wipe out the human race. After 2 years of creeping decay, David Arlen woke up one morning thinking that the worst was over. By midnight, he's bleeding and terrified, his wife is dead, and he's on the run in a stolen car and his 8-year-old daughter, who may be the key to a cure. If that does not sound like The Last of Us, okay, this is like actually his kid and not like found family, like I'll be your metaphorical dad father figure, you know? And I don't know why I didn't finish reading it. Like I was just like, oh, I'm just like skimming it really quick, like I'm not actually locked in. Looking back, I should have just, this book just sounds so good, and if you guys have read it, please let me know in the comments because I think I'm gonna read it this year for fall. It has like the perfect spooky vibes, like zombie vibes, Last of Us, like it's gonna be so good. So I think I'm gonna read it this year. Don't quote me on it because I may not, but I want to. The next book I have is Spell Strings and Forgotten Things, and I picked this book up just because the cover, look at that, is beautiful, and also because it gave me Practical Magic vibes. I love Practical Magic. I love the costuming, I love the decor, I love the set, like everything about it. The vibe of it is so good. The soundtrack, Stevie Nicks, like the ultimate witch, okay? Putting her in the soundtrack was so smart. It was honestly brilliant. I just think it's so cute as like sisterhood, like girlhood, womanhood, like whatever. And the vibes were good and the outfits were so good and it was amazing. I watched it for the first time like 2 years ago and I absolutely love that movie. I didn't even know it existed. I don't even know why I had never seen it or anything. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to read it just because it's giving Practical Magic. This says a witch cursed with sacrificing memories to cast spells must decide how much she's willing to lose to save her town in this thrilling tale of magic, love, and self-discovery. And I think it's just gonna be the cutest little small town romance witch vibes ever. In the small town of Gold Springs, Calliope and her 2 sisters carefully guard the secret of their magic and the price they must pay to practice it. Memories. Luckily, all Calliope wants to do is forget the mother who left without a trace, as sisters from whom she feels increasingly distant, and most of all, the way the love of her life shattered her heart 2 years ago. But when an ancient evil awakens, the fragile thread that holds the sisters together breaks. As their magic slowly begins to fade, Calliope accidentally binds herself to the handsome leader of the rival coven, infamous for their ruthless pursuit of power. Battling her sizzling chemistry with a man she can't trust, Calliope must confront painful memories of her past, dark family secrets, and an ancient magic to protect the town and all she loves. But will she have anything left of herself? Doesn't that sound so good? It's about a small town and like sisterhood and magic and like a rival coven, a man in a rival coven, like a wizard, mind you, like, and I don't know if this got put on the shelves too early or what, but I found this at Target like in July or something this year and I haven't seen it again, so I picked it up because I was like, wait, I'm already feeling the fall vibes. I love fall so much, even though I don't get a fall because I'm in California and it's hot like 24/7, but I just love the smell of fall and the vibes and the colors, and I just love everything about it. So yeah, I bought this book in the middle of summer and I'm excited to read it now, and I feel like it's going to be the perfect fall vibes. The next book I have is The Fabric of Our Souls. This one's a little bit like dark and grim from the back of it. I only picked it up because I was like, I haven't really heard of a premise like this, and it said it was like suspenseful, dark, gothic. I was like, that sounds fun, a little bit different. But the premise of it says, he craves life, she craves death. It's basically this girl who is in a hospital because she tried to kill herself. She ends up going to this rehabilitation center because her brother's like, I want you to live and I want you to be okay. So he sends her there, and her roommate turns out to be this guy that she saw or maybe talked with once or twice in the hospital when she was there, and he is like on this lust for life. He wants to keep living, and all she can think about is wanting not to live anymore. So they spend more time together, they become friends, maybe they fall in love. I think it's more of like a friends with benefits maybe situation first off. But yeah, it's kind of like what's gonna happen. Is there like a middle ground they can get to? Like, is all of his progress and like happiness, lust for life going to, I don't know, diminish because of her mentality and wanting not to live anymore? Or is like she gonna get better? Is he gonna regress? Like, we don't know. It just sounded very different. I don't know why. Also, once again, I heard gothic and suspenseful. I was like, maybe this could take a turn or be a plot twist. Or it also says spellbinding. Okay, so is there like magic in this? Is there something else going on? Is this like somewhat supernatural? I don't know. This one could be good, just the back was a little bit different, so I picked it up. This is also a dark romance, so make sure you guys look at the content warning in the beginning of the book so you guys kind of know what you're getting yourselves into. There's also like an author's note at the front, kind of like prefacing what's gonna happen in here. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely keep that in mind, or look at the first 2 pages when you're looking at it, or do some research on it. But yeah, I just thought this book could be a little bit different. I hadn't heard of anything like this before, so we'll see. And then the next book is Exquisite Ruin, which I talked about in my, I think, my summer TBR. And guys, I didn't read it this summer. I knew I wasn't going to stick to that TBR, but I was like, let's make a video. It'll be fun to talk about in the books that I want to read. I still do want to read this. I didn't read it this summer. I got caught up in the Chestnut Springs series. I'm on the last book, so I've just been reading all of those. So I didn't get to reading this one, but I'll keep it short because I did kind of already explain what this book is about. So this girl gets plopped into this deadly maze. She doesn't remember who she is before. She has no recollection or no memories of anything of her life before this. She has to get out. She has to get to the center of the maze, and there's like monsters and stuff, and obviously it's going to be really tricky to get out of there. But she's also in this maze with this, I think, like immortal demon or whatever. He's like super dangerous and really hostile, whatever, and I don't think they're like the best of friends. They don't really hit it off, but it's a romantasy, so I think you can see where things are going. They got to get to the center of the maze. Throughout the story, I think she starts getting her memories back, or she starts remembering bits of her life and memories. I don't know if they have like a tie to each other or something outside of the maze or what. It sounded kind of fun. I do love a maze, like Maze Runner. I love the idea of a maze. I don't know why, I just feel like it's so fun. But yeah, I definitely want to read this. I don't know when that will be, but because I had my heart set on summertime, and that's over now, so I don't know when I want to read this, but preferably soon. I don't know if this is a duology or a trilogy or what. I haven't seen the second book out, so I don't know if this is like newish, but so far I've only seen this one. I think this one also might have like a content trigger warning. Yeah, so keep that in mind before you guys read this book if you guys are interested in it. The next one I have is Blood Beneath the Snow, and this one just looks so pretty. I can't lie, I love the cover of this one, and also I love how it doesn't have a book jacket. It's just like printed on the book. I don't know why, I think that's so cool. This one is, as you can tell, also a fantasy romantasy type thing going on. This book is about a girl, a princess, and she's born to this family with a whole bunch of siblings, but the thing is that all of her siblings must compete in this like Hunger Games style arena to see who will get the crown, but she doesn't have any powers. She was born without powers, but the rest of her siblings were. I don't know how she's gonna get the crown and maybe not die, but we'll see. She's also engaged, or like betrothed to, an arranged marriage, okay, to the general of their country's greatest enemy. So like, is he gonna help her in these games? The Bloodshed Trials is what it is. The Bloodshed Trials, a competition where the last royal sibling stands taking the crown, might just demand the ultimate price. So obviously I think they're gonna fall in love, right? She's like, but I wonder if there's some humanity left in him, especially when he reveals there are other parties who want her on the kingdom's throne for their own secret reasons. So I think they're gonna help her get the throne. Yeah. Heart-pounding romantasy following a rebellious princess who must fight her brothers to the death while also battling her feelings for her country's most powerful enemy. This is a debut novel? Okay, slay. Alexandra Kennington, this is her very first book. That's so cool. I don't know if this is also a series or just one book. I think so far maybe it's just one. I don't know. Let's see, when was it published? Published this year. So maybe she's working on the next book. I don't know. I guess I'd have to read it to figure out if it requires another book or not. But I just think that one sounded Really cool, really fun. We all love magical trials, okay? We love a Hunger Games style, like Roman Colosseum, fight to the death. This one is like the twist is those are her siblings. Like those are her brothers she has to kill. And they all have magical powers and she doesn't. Like, so there's also this one that I really want to read. This is kind of just like my TBR. I have a long TBR, but it's probably like my TBR of books that nobody's heard of. Maybe some of you have, I don't know. And then the last one, I think I've talked about this one before, but it's called The Hacienda. I think I talked about it maybe like last year for like what I want to read for fall. Obviously I didn't get to it either. I think I've had this on my TBR for maybe like 2 years or so. This one's a little bit different for me because I'm not super into like period pieces, but it says, in the aftermath of the Mexican War of Independence, a young woman is certain that her wealthy new husband and his remote estate will save her, but something sinister lurks within the hacienda walls. This one just sounds fun. Like, it's like a really cool thriller, spooky vibe. So this girl ends up marrying this guy who's part of like the capital or something like that. He works in the capital, but his hacienda is like in a remote location. But there were like a lot of weird stories about his wife before, and she just like tragically passed and nobody knows what happened to her. So she ends up, our main character ends up living in this hacienda. There's a bunch of like maids and stuff like that, like people, like housekeepers and people who work there. When her husband Rodolfo's away, it says that she keeps seeing visions and hearing voices in her sleep. So she knows something weird is happening in this place. People are doing weird things, like why does the cook burn copal incense at the edge of the kitchen and mark the doorway with strange symbols? Some people don't even like walking into the place. She's like, okay, I have to live here. Something weird is happening. Then she ends up befriending a priest, no ordinary priest. Andreas will have to rely on his skills as a witch to fight off the malevolent presence haunting the hacienda and protect the woman for whom he feels a powerful forbidden attraction to. So she's got a husband who's never there, leaves her in this house. Like, the wife died, no one knows how, people are acting strange. She befriends a priest who also was like a witch. This book just sounds so interesting. Like, it's so something that I wouldn't normally pick up, but it just sounds so good. I don't know. It sounds very folly, very spooky, very different. I do really want to read this. I know I said I wanted to read it like when I made my fall video, I think last year, but I'm determined to pick this up. I am. I don't know if I want to read it this fall because I have a lot of books I want to read. Like, I want to read the Mind F series. That's what you guys are sitting on right now. I want to read that, and then I want to read the Shepherd's Crown duology. Is that what that's called? The Shepherd something, you know, the Dark Window, One Dark Window and Twisted Crowns. That one, I want to read that. What else do I want to read? I still have to read like The Love Hypothesis because that's gonna become a movie. Like, I want to read that. I want to read Phantasma this fall. I also definitely want to read these two this fall, so maybe I'll like squeeze this in the mix. I don't know, we'll see, I guess. Yeah, those are all the books that I have. If you guys have heard of these, let me know, because I just haven't seen a lot of people talk about these. I haven't read all of them, so I can't attest to if they're good or not, but they sound interesting to me. All I've read is The Love Interest. But yeah, let me know if I should do like a fall TBR again, because there are definitely some books that I want to read this fall. I think it's fun to set the expectation to have a TBR and just like a fun themed TBR, not knowing if I'm gonna get to it, because the mood reader in me, you know, wants to just find a book and pick it up. But I still like the idea of one, so maybe I'll do one of those videos soon. But those are the books that I have for this video. I have a lot more fall ones than I thought that I had in here, but that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!